Good evening, Mayor Ronnie Currin.
Hey there, Philip. How you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well.
Every day is a holiday, every meal is a banquet. All of my members treat the Rolesville Chamber as a trusted advisor, Ronnie.
There you go. There you go. A month goes by fast. Almost feel like we just did this a few days ago, but actually it's been a month gone by, and a lot of things happened in town in the last month, and there's a lot of things getting ready to happen too. So I know you
Abs
guys.
a bloody reason.
Yeah, I was saying I know you guys been busy in the chamber doing different stuff for sure.
It is an exciting time in the chamber. 2024 is definitely a time we're going to relaunch this chamber with all the changes that are happening in the area, the growth we're seeing in commercial and residential developments. I'm new to the chamber. I only joined in January, and it's a time to create an environment for our existing members who've been here supporting us, behind us all along, but create a larger, more inclusive environment for the new businesses coming into the Rolesville area. And whether they're brick and mortar in Rolesville or just want to get more connectivity to other businesses in Rolesville and the audience in Rolesville, that's what we're prepping this chamber for. And we put a committee together to create a relaunch strategy, a rebrand. So this is really going to be a later this year. This is going to be a chamber that is prepared and actively moving into the future, along with Rolesville, who is doing the same thing.
Yeah, that's good. We'll have time to talk about that a little bit in detail, Philip. I know we had a cancellation tonight, so we'll let everybody know right off the start. Carla Payne, which was supposed to be tonight, she's with the group. What is it called? Aging Care, I think. And she got a very interesting story, but I understand she had some medical issues with today. Is that my understanding?
She had a medical emergency in her family that she is paying attention to, and that is always number one. Family is always number one. So she'll be back with us.
Yeah, we'll have to get her back on, get her rescheduled and stuff. And we've been pretty lucky. I think doing these things close to 3 years now, and we've had two cancellations. One was a car accident. The first one was a car accident, and then this one, this one is a family emergency. It's amazing. That long without any big issues and stuff.
Wait, don't speak it. It'll happen, right?
I know for sure. Hope I can keep my voice doing this thing, Philip. So I may need you to bail me out a little bit there.
Yeah, my water.
We're gonna we're gonna have a good show anyway. The night was supposed to be focused on senior citizens, and we could still go and have Michael Paul, which is a liaison to the town, talk a little bit.
We have Michael on. He's going to talk about the senior network and what the senior network's got on the schedule and what their mission in life is. We're going to have some extra space. So I'm sure Michael will bring up some fresh information that we're not. I'm going to talk more about what the chamber's got on the schedule for May. You want to show some of that at the moment, since we got some time to play with?
Yeah. Let's start with that, and then we'll we just don't have to kind of ad lib a little bit tonight, Philip.
That's always more fun.
It is. It's more fun. We'll fly by the seat of our pants. Maybe the people watching to get a few little laughs for the night's over with. But
what is the funniest part of any comedy movie? It is the outtakes at the end during the credits. Watching Saturday Night Live and watching them trying to make each other laugh. That's the best part. So yeah, we're going to ad lib and we're going to have fun with it. Busy month at the chamber. Let me highlight some events we got going on. I think the most important event we have going on this month is the Military Appreciation Luncheon next Tuesday from 11 o'clock on. This is free to whoever who would like to join us. We're absolutely focused on our active and retired members of the military, all branches. Please join us. There's a registration link on our webpage. Just go to events on the Rolesville Chamber's webpage. Or if you can, take your phone right now and take a picture of that UPC code right there. Or not UPC, that QR code. That'll take you to the registration page. We need a registration only because we want to know who's coming so we can make sure we got enough food for everybody. The
Yeah.
next Tuesday, this is one of our better events of the year. We'd love to see you there. And if you're not military, come on out anyway and help us honor them. We'd love to have you as well.
Yeah, it's a great event. I always try to go to that. Now I'm out of town next week, so I'm leaving Monday and won't be back to Friday. But Dan T. Austin is commissioner here. He'll be there, welcoming the guests. And I hate to miss this because it's really a good event. And
You taking some?
we
You
usually get
having
good
some
turnout too.
fun, or you got a work week out of town?
No, it's a vacation. We're going to Niagara Monday and stay up there all week. Maybe I think we'll be in Canada for a day or two. So be out of the country, I guess you call it. But that's a great event. I just want to plug, like you said, if you can attend, please attend, especially if you're a military person. That's what it's all about. And we can't honor them enough for sure.
And we are holding it in Rolesville at Arise, the co-working space there down by Town Hall. So easy to find, lots of parking. Come on out, and we'll make it a great event for to honor our military.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, on Thursday, third Thursday, May 23rd, Sukesh is going to be coming out to talk about tax tips and strategies for business. This is key. I was a small business owner for 5 years. I ran a service business in Wake Forest. And I can guarantee you, knowing about employee tax credits, that was tens of thousands of dollars to my bottom line. And had I not had a good tax person to help me understand this and how to go apply for it, I may not have been able to get the full award on it. So definitely come out. It's going to be held at the Chamber of Commerce, 12 o'clock next Thursday. It's a lunch and learn. We're saying if you're hungry, bring your own lunch. Sukesh will probably have some snacks for us. But come on out. We'd love to have you out there. And it's, I think, for a business owner, the more you know about the finance side, whether it's tax or investments, the better prepped you are to keep your business protected.
For sure.
After that, and Michael will talk more about the annual Senior Talent Show, but note your calendar here, May 24th at 7 p.m. at the Renaissance Center. Get your tickets now. This sells out every year. So I think they still got tickets available. It's a lot of fun. It's a bit of slapstick, but it is a local event. It's people in the local community doing things for fun, and another entertaining night in the county. So come on out for that. Michael will talk more about that. And then last this month, the chamber is here to enable the businesses in the Rolesville area to get connected to their peers, to get connected in the audience. We want to help you get exposure in the Rolesville area to your potential customer base. Very important to do that is to meet your other peer businesses in the Rolesville area. This is a social happy hour. It's the Rolesville Business After Hours. It's going to be May 23rd. If you want to come out and throw business cards, it's absolutely that environment. It's casual. It's a happy hour. We're going to have it at Main Street Tavern this time. We'll be at different places each month. In July, we're going to have a blowout at the Grand Falls Health Club down at the pool bar. That'd be a lot of fun. This month it's going to be back at Main Street Tavern, but it's a great opportunity. If you want to hand out business cards and make new connections, great opportunity to do that. It's a B2B, business to business event. But if you want to sit in the corner and you see a friend that's in business and you just want to go deep and build a stronger relationship and talk to them the whole time, it's casual. Do that. It's whatever you want to make of it, but you get what you put into it. So show up and be social, and we'd love to see you there. May 23rd. And that's what I got on the calendar for May. We got more stuff coming up in June and July. But essentially, the chamber's kind of been in neutral for about a year without an executive director. I'm not saying I'm the bee's knees or anything like that, but I'm having a lot of fun creating events, creating opportunities for businesses to meet each other, to meet the community, and expose the benefits they can provide to their customer base in Rolesville. So we're excited this year. It's a rebuild
Yeah,
year for 2025.
yeah, I've heard you. I've heard you say it's a new chamber. It's a new. It's not your grandma. I think grandpa's
I didn't
chamber.
say that. I didn't
Uh,
say that.
I
You
think I
said
heard
that.
you say that. But what does that mean? What does that? What does that mean when average listener listening to? What are you trying to accomplish?
Okay, so I'm new to the air. I'm not from here. All right. I fully admit that, full transparency. I'm a Texan. I got here in '06 in the air. I lived in Wake Forest. Now my wife and I live up in Youngsville. She works in Wake Forest. I'm working at the chamber in Rolesville. I'm new to the area. I don't have born here, raised here, went to high school, got the licks from the teacher back in the '80s credits. But what I've learned is this is very similar to my upbringing in a small town in Texas. This is a town that has been a community for tens of decades, for decades. And I think we've got a huge advantage in Rolesville over some of the other border towns, as I call them, say Youngsville or Franklinton, even Wake Forest. We have a downtown area. We have a classic downtown area, but it's a microcosm of a downtown. We don't have a huge number of historical buildings to protect. There are a lot of businesses that have been there for a long time. But I look at here, just my take on it, Ronnie, correct me if I'm wrong. We've got a strip that used to be just a wide spot in the road for the longest time. And now we've got Publix coming in on the south end with their huge development, kind of like Wegmans in Wake Forest and that huge campus they've built there, both sides of the bypass. On the north end, we've got our own Lafayette Village in Cobblestone coming in. So we got Keystone at the top, Keystone at the bottom. In the middle, what I see is not a traditional downtown of a bunch of buildings that we need to protect. We need to protect the businesses that are there. We need to promote the businesses that are already there. But there's a lot of availability of real estate, of buildings that could be redeveloped as they are, or areas that can be built on. That is opportunity that Wake Forest doesn't have, that Youngsville doesn't have. They are constrained in their downtown. Franklinton, they've done a great job of developing Franklinton and bringing a lot of nightlife there, restaurants and bars. But again, their traditional downtown has distinct borders. We
Yeah,
have so much opportunity to bring in new things, and
yeah,
I'm excited by that. So that's what
yeah.
I see as a recently an outsider, but now an insider.
Right. Yeah. I would recommend anybody to go on the website and look up the Main Street Vision document. It's a pretty long. It's a pretty long document, so it'd take you a while to go through it. I think it's probably close to 100 pages or more. But that 1.6 miles you just described with the two bookends of Cobblestone and Walbrook, that's what focus is right now. That's what we're focusing on is at 1.6 miles, which we call the Main Street core. I think in the book they call it the core. So
Okay.
that 1.6 miles is the core of Main Street, and it's a lot. It's a lot of potential there. You described some of it, but one of them is the Pine Glow building. We hear a lot of people mention the Pine Glow building. What's going to happen there? We don't know what's going to happen there. We really don't know. The person that bought it is a unique business person that really is in a lot of ways he just have fun with businesses, and he hasn't decided what he's going to do with this place yet. He's been exploring a lot of things. I think he explored maybe putting a hockey ring in there. He's explored putting a entertainment place in there. He's explored putting sort of like a restaurant, 6 restaurants, 8 restaurants type things in there. He's explored a lot of
A
things,
food
but
hall.
he hasn't landed on anything yet. But that's going to be a really nice thing once you see that happen. But it's a lot of potential, and right in the heart of it is our traditional old shopping center, which is Redford Place, where the food line is. And the food line has served the community for about 25 years now, I believe. Uh, I think I'm right on that, since about the early 1990s. So it may be a little bit more than 25 years. Food line's been there. And, one of the things we're hoping is, that will have someone to upfit that to turn it into a nice place. Because being right in the center of, Main Street at 1.6 miles, it has a lot of potential. It has a lot of potential there. So we're
How about that 401 bypass? I drove out to Rolesville High School. I saw the lake that's in the old quarry that's now I forget the name of it. It's an entertainment center. Actually drove a new business person that's moving out there to show him that. He's got kids, girls that are between the ages of 7 and 14. And he's like, oh yeah, this is on our list. We're going to go hit the water hole soon. What's going out on the east side of 401 that's new and exciting?
You talking about on 401 bypass?
Yeah, I see a lot of earth moving going on
Yeah.
to span the bypass south of us. But I'm wondering if there's any and I do see heavy earth movers out east of the bypass on Young Street. There's looks like some residential developments. Any details on what's going on out in that direction?
Well, the big place is the point, and that's where you see in some places you can see the streets that are already put in the maps and things.
Yes.
I saw that in one of the maps I was looking at. They already have the streets in there. I can't remember if it's one of GPI's maps or what, but that's a residential. It has commercial between that and the bypass there. One of the problems is one of the things about the bypass right now, the people own the property is not selling. It's a couple big families that owns property on both sides. The Scarborough family is one, and they're not selling right now. And then the other thing, if you ride the bypass, next time you ride that bypass up to Rolesville Road or East Young Street, notice what you see there. It's a lot of hills. It's a lot of rock. When they put that bypass in, they blast for weeks and weeks and weeks.
They're doing that now just south of there. I saw one of the banks on the west side. It's a massive boulder.
Yeah. So if you look at the bypass on both sides, it is really hilly. It's really rock. And to put a big shopping center in or something, you need a pretty good area of flat land. And that area like that works really good for residential, but really it's hard to work for commercial. So we got it designated, a lot of the area designated for commercial, so we won't be able to go residential, but it's going to take a while before the property owners and the developers come together on a price, because property owners want a lot of money for it, and the developers have to spend a lot of money to develop it with rock and the hills and stuff. So it's going to take a while. Main Street, you see what's being developed is much easier.
How about North Main Street?
Yeah. Well, North Main Street is in the watershed, so that's a little bit protected right now from industrial and commercial. So that's a little bit of a problem there. Hopefully one day that will change. But it would take a lot to do with Raleigh and the water supply to change that. But it's a lot of potential. But I think you'll see the area. I don't know if you know where Noose Baptist Church is, but that area where Noose Baptist Church is, and it's a big farm across the street from that. That's the prime area. That's close to Raleigh. Gotcha. That is the prime area. That is not hilly. It's farmland. It's a really good area. That's going to be the site where we'll see some bigger places in there for sure one day.
Nothing but opportunity.
Nothing but opportunity. But pretty excited. But I would challenge anybody to go to our website and just look up that Main Street thing. You'll be amazed. You'll be amazed at what the vision is for that. It's really a lot of thought, a lot of work put into that for sure. And
excellent.
And one of the things, as we get these new businesses in and stuff, it's important for the chamber to be connected. And So when you think about the chamber, these new businesses, what's the purpose? What is the chamber? What are you here to serve? The not only the existing businesses but the new businesses. What did you provide for them?
I think it gets down to a single bullet, connectivity to the business, to their customer audience. So we are a conduit for them to engage with, to find new customers, new partners, fellow business competitions. It's not really competition, co-opetition. I always know your competitor. And when I was in the service business, if I got hit by a bus, I needed to know which competitor I trusted to take my business to. So I think the base value, it's about what we can provide to our membership in terms of value, and the value gets down to connectivity. I serve the community to connect them to their audience, whether that is customers, other business owners, help them build connectivity. And so all of our events, all of our activities, all the different benefits we provide, advertising opportunities that we provide an opportunity to build out a minor web page on our website. And actually Google looks, as opposed to Facebook or LinkedIn, which you have to be a member to be able to see what's on LinkedIn or Facebook. Our website lists all of our members for public. So by filling out your member profile as a member of the Rolesville Chamber, you're actually helping your Google search algorithms for your search engine optimization. Having a completed profile on the Chamber's website for your business actually improves your Google searchability, because it's a public site. It's a public place. So have a website, have a Facebook page, have a LinkedIn page, but that's one example of many that we provide to that top level bullet, which is we want to provide exposure, provide you more opportunities through that exposure to get connected to the audience you want to get connected to.
That's on the business side. That's a good description you had there, Philip. On the town side, I always felt like I've always supported the chamber since I've been mayor and also as commissioner too. But I feel personally it's important for the town to partner with the chamber and help the businesses in what we can do. What do you see the relationship between the town? How is it important for the town to be supporting the chamber in your view?
I'll tell you a really good example. Your economic development director, Michael McFarland, he was one of my greatest assets in my job. I was at another networking group meeting, and I met a business owner who has a couple of locations. He's looking for a third location. He's looking at Franklinton, he's looking at Zebulon, and he's looking at Rolesville. And I said, "Oh, you're looking at Rolesville? You've been down there?" "Yeah, not for about 3 years." "Well, heck, let me go set up an appointment with Michael McFarland, the town's economic development director." So we set up a meeting for that. And that's so what is the value there? You're my partner. You have resources for business owners that are coming in here that I can't provide. I can provide exposure to your resources. You actually got the meat and the pie. So that's absolutely a partnership that I couldn't live without.
Well, that's good. That's good. So, lastly, and we got the show with Michael Paul coming up that I'm pretty excited to talk a little bit about senior citizens. But before I do that, what's the future? If you could predict the future of the chamber next 12 months, next 60 months, next 5 years, what is the chamber? What is it going to be like?
Well, it's not going to be the Raleigh Chamber. We are going to be a vehicle for businesses to accelerate their sales. We are going to be a vehicle for them to be outsiders and become insiders. Off the top of my head, no filters. I think that's the nut of it. It is helping them get engaged with the community, whether they've been there for a long time and they feel like they're not reaching the new audience that's coming in, or they're a new business that's just arriving and doesn't know anybody. It's like me, Mayor Currin. 6 years ago, when I started a business in Wake Forest, I was a corporate minion. I drove to the airport and flew someplace for Cisco Systems 3 weeks of the month. I knew the Taekwondo dads. I knew the Boy Scout families. I knew some people at church. I didn't even know how to get to my local Harris Teeter. I knew how to get to RDU and fly somewhere. 5 years into owning a business and getting into different networking groups, different chambers, getting connected. I loved it. Here's the example I'll leave you with. It was Christmas Eve, and I, of course, had found something that I'd forgotten for the Christmas Eve ham. So I ran down to Harris Teeter to go grab it at about 3 o'clock on Christmas Eve. And of course, it's packed. Every cash register line is halfway down the aisle. So you got 20 minutes to get to the cash register. You know what happened that 20 minutes? I've been in business for 5 years. I've gotten connected to all these different circles. I talked to friends that were walking in the store the whole 20 minutes. It was, Phil, what's going on? Other people that had forgotten stuff. It was a social hour. It was wonderful. 5 years ago, I'd have walked in there and wouldn't have said a word to anybody. I didn't know anybody.
Right.
So what is the chamber in 5 years? It's going to be a vehicle to get you the connectivity you want in a community that is accelerating more and more every day.
Yeah, and you mentioned acceleration there. The last census of between 2010 and 2020, Rolesville grew by 152%. So I don't predict 152% between 2020 and 2030. I don't predict another 152%, but I really think it's going to double. I really think it's going to be 100% growth. So I really think we're going to be twice the size, in 2030 as we were in 2020, and we already grown some. So I guess my last question, Philip, is how are you guys preparing at the chamber for this growth? Because theoretically you could be double your size, the chamber 3 times the size or something like that. Are y'all thinking about that and preparing for a bigger chamber?
Absolutely. In my relaunch, I've currently got, by my bylaws, I've got positions for 8 board of directors, 8 strong. I have already gotten the board to approve moving that to 10 directors. So we're going to add a couple extra directors. I've currently got 6 ambassadors, which are, I'm the face of the chamber. I'm out there socializing, trying to let the world know the chamber is there for them. My ambassadors are business owner members that are also the face of the chamber. They have each a set selection of other members that they're the ambassador buddy for. So they make sure the other members in their buddy list know about events coming up, things that are going on, keeping them informed. I'm going to double from 6 to 12 ASAP. So anybody listening or watching this video, if you would be interested in jumping into the chamber, either as a director or an ambassador, love to have you as a member. But we have huge opportunities with committees for events. We have ad hoc committees coming together for the rebrand. I would love to have a couple marketing professionals on my rebrand committee, my relaunch committee. But so what I envision is we're at about 175 members today. Am I going to double it this year? No, this is a rebuild year. We're putting in place the mechanisms and the facilities to provide benefits for 2025. So it's a year of rebuilding, and making sure we're taking care of and serving the businesses that have been here, but also looking at what Raleigh's doing, what North Raleigh Chamber is doing, what Wake Forest Chamber, what Zebulon's doing. Make sure we're partnering with those other chambers, and where we can synergize and collaborate, we are. But it's not nuclear science. Marketing is the art of legal plagiarism. If I see another chamber that's doing something that work for us, I'm going to go grab it. And they're happy to help me with that. that's one thing I love about, I saw with chambers early on, is there's no competition. If you run a service business in Wake Forest and you want to expand to Rolesville, you're not quitting the Wake Forest chamber to come to Rolesville. You're just expanding your reach. So that's the vision of the future, is much more connectivity in the area, much more meat behind the benefits we do provide to our members, old and new.
Good. Well, Philip, I'm excited to have my guest come on, my fellow board member.
Let me bring him up.
Bring him up. I want to see him. There he is.
Hey, Mr. Mayor. Hey, Philip. How are you both doing?
We're doing
Mr.
really
Paul,
good. Hope you're doing
Commissioner Paul.
good. Hope you're really doing good.
Doing well, thanks.
And thanks for coming on the show. This is not your first time.
No, it's not. I'm happy to be here again. So thank you.
So you've been on the show before, and thank you for coming back, being a second-time guest for sure. It's not many people second-time guests because, we don't do many of these. And, when you think about all the businesses and everything that's going on in town, it really, I'm a year ahead. So with Carla, not being able to make it tonight, it's probably 6-8 months before we could get her back in rotation. And, but we're really certainly glad to have you on, a new commissioner, a new partner in crime, I guess we can say.
That's right.
And one of my focuses ever since I've been mayor, it's a double. It's two things. Was to focus more on veterans and to focus more on senior citizens, and you have come on board and helped with that, and took the ball and kind of run with it a little bit. Just describe your experience so far. What has been 5 months, maybe 4 months, 5 months. Maybe your experience of being on the board. And I think everybody knows you. We've been on the show before, but if you want to do a brief info, go ahead and do that, and let us know what your first 5 months has been like.
Oh, thank you. And I appreciate the show. I think it's important for our town to have this show. So thank you for doing it, and for doing it for at least 3 years now, as I understand. So thank you for that. Yes, I'm an attorney. My wife and I have our practice across the street from Town Hall on Main Street. And we do estate planning, probate, business law, and we do a fair amount of property law as well. So that's the mainstay. And then, as you mentioned, I'm a newly elected commissioner, and it's been a whirlwind. It's been exciting. I'm glad I'm there. I ran to try and make some changes and do some things with helping the direction of our town and in the amazing growth that we're experiencing, and I believe we'll continue to experience for a while. And I hope to be able to help provide some direction in that growth, so that we can all enjoy our town and get the maximum that we can out of it for everyone. So it's been good. It's I would say being a commissioner can take up as much time as you allow it to.
Exactly. And, kind of describe, I think people, new commissioners can come in and do things different ways. And I think you kind of described it a little bit there when you said, you're coming in and working on some things to make things, better in town and all. But you're not upsetting the apple cart. You feel like the direction is just you becoming part of kind of pulling the cart like the rest of us. Is that fair to say?
That is true. There is a system, there is a process, and I hope I can help improve that system and that process. I'm not here to upset the apple cart in any way, shape, or form. And I think we're fortunate. I believe we have a very good board of commissioners and mayor, and we work together. We respect each other, and we get along. We're all different, and we're all busy doing our normal lives, but I think we're all interested in making our town better and trying to do the things that we need to do individually and collectively to make that happen. And I feel very proud to be a part of that group. I respect all of them that are there, and enjoy working with each and every one of them. So I'm excited about what we can accomplish in the next 4 years.
Yeah, we got a lot on the plate, and a lot of it we're not going to talk about tonight. I mean, we got a complex coming up with new police station, fire station. I mean, unification of the fire department. We got a lot of things we're working on in the next few years, and there's a lot of work. But one of the things I think, talking to you early, I knew you even before you was decided to run for commissioner, and I knew you very well, and you had the business here in town, been knowing that you with the business for a long time. But I felt like you had a passion for senior citizens, and now you're able to really have leadership in making a difference in the senior citizens and the way the town grow with senior citizens. And senior citizens is a vital part of town, is it not? And it's really a growing part of town.
It absolutely is. It's over 20% of our population. It's growing. So many people are moving here because they have family, children, grandchildren, other relatives in the area. And a lot of people are moving from other areas into this area, and not just Rolesville, but the whole Raleigh-Durham area. Like I said, our population is over 20%, but I understand that about 50% of the people moving into this bigger area are seniors. So it's a growing population, and we're going to see that growth in our town as well. So the other thing is that it's probably the least served demographic in our country. And I hope to help change that, at least here, if not in a bigger context as well. But certainly want to help our seniors have the services and the amenities and the help that they need as they enjoy their retirement. I want them to enjoy that and not just suffer it.
Yeah, it's a broad prospect. I mean, the whole town is, with 12,000 people, so there's a lot of people here. And, I think since you've been on board, you've been talking with our planning department and been talking with our Parks and Recreation department. I think we're adding a lot of senior activities with June on board now. So you've done a lot of work just in our staff on how to support and better serve the senior citizens.
Well, June Green and his staff are amazing, and they have jumped on it. They are providing more and more events for the seniors. And I know we talked to June this week. He's outfitting the passenger van that we have for the town to be able to accommodate wheelchairs, to provide transportation. And that's like the senior network. As you know, I'm very fond of them and work closely with them. They do the same thing. This is a nonprofit that's three sisters, all in their 70s, and they just do wonderful things. Last year, they did over 600 trips, transportation for seniors who couldn't get there. And I mean, these are trips to the grocery store, the doctor, the pharmacy, whatever. They're there and they provide this service. They provide it for free. And you put up we have the Senior Network Charity Golf Tournament there. That was my promise to them, that if I got elected, I would help them with a golf tournament to buy a passenger van. Because those 600 trips plus that they did last year and the year before and the year before were all in their own personal vehicles. So our goal is to raise enough money to buy them a passenger van so that they can provide the services in a better way and less wear and tear on them personally, because they'll have a driver, and less wear and tear on their vehicles. So
yeah, that's great. So describe the the term that's coming up in September. But I think you mentioned sponsorships. So describe what we can do for sponsorships. I know there's a lot of business owners watching tonight. As a business owner or business, what does a sponsorship cost? What should we expect for that? Can you do different sponsorships, gold and platinum and all this other stuff you hear at the time?
We definitely have a number of sponsorship levels. I won't go through them all, but they start at $300. And we just secured our presenting sponsor, which is State Farm. Our local agent, Justin Thigpen, committed to that. So thank you very much, Justin. We think you're wonderful, and we appreciate you taking that presenting sponsorship. But we have a number of other sponsor levels and plenty of opportunity for every business in Rolesville to participate in this tournament. And we just want to make it a very big success so we can help this wonderful organization do what they do. And, it's more than just transportation. They provide events. One of the big problems with the senior community is loneliness. So they provide a lot of opportunities for our seniors to socialize. And then they also provide the transportation to enable them to get there. So can't say enough about what they do. And that's why I'm involved in this and trying to help them get this van. So thank you.
Yeah, that senior citizen senior network is really they put a lot of work in. They got a lot of things going, and they serve Wake Forest too, and
Yes,
a little bigger area than Wake Forest and Rolesville, and they do a really good job, and it's all volunteer. It's all nonprofit. It's just really amazing what they can do there, and getting them a van will be a great thing that we can do. So. Very best wishes on the golf tournament, and we can help get. You say it starts at 300, and
yes.
And we'll get some sponsorships for sure. Because I saw you put the slide up, I didn't see any sponsors on there yet. So I guess we can fill it up with sponsorships, right?
Well, they can go to theseniornetwork.org, and there's links on the page to sponsor and participate in the golf tournament as a player. And we'll accept any donations. So while there's sponsorship levels, we can also take donations. We have an amazing committee working on this event, so thank you for all of them. They work tirelessly. We had a meeting this morning, and we meet regularly, and it's growing. We're seeing great things so far, so we're very excited about it.
That's great. I saw this slide pop up on the new development. One of the things we don't have is a senior development. If you look at some of our bigger developments now, like Heritage, it's a lot of senior citizens that lives in Heritage. There's one street, Lawson Avenue, I think, or Lawson's Way. I think it's called Lawson's Way. It has a lot of senior citizens on that one street. But we really don't have a community that really supports with all types of housing and stuff. And we got one that is interested in coming to town if we can make it work. And I know you've been working with the person that wants to bring the senior development into town. So how's that going, and what's happening with that?
Well, and this is a schematic, a concept, if you will, of the community itself. It's moving along. Like anything else, there are ups and downs, but they're making progress, and I do believe this will happen. It's on the Merritt Farm across from the high school, and it's about a 546 unit development. I believe there's 125 townhomes, and the rest will be single family homes. And it's being a little innovative, a little creative. They have different size lots for different size homes to provide a broad range of homes and price points for our senior community. But it is an over 55 community, catering just to that market. And I think it'll be very successful. I'm excited to see this keep growing.
Mm-hmm. And you'll have some commercial out there, from my understanding. Looking at the drawing here, it's some commercial things.
Yeah, I think there's 3 different pieces in there. Yes.
Yeah, but we don't have one of these, so it's our first one, and it takes some work to be able to do that. But it's a lot of things that a neighborhood like this doesn't. For example, it doesn't burden the school system, right? You mentioned across from the high school. It really doesn't burden the high school from the standpoint of adding a lot of kids to the neighborhoods and stuff like that.
Well, that's right.
And I think another big advantage of a 55 and over community is traffic, right? Rush hour and commuter traffic you don't have as much. Is that fair to say?
It is fair, because a lot of them are retirees. And like I said, a lot of them are retiring and moving to this area to be with other family. So they're not going to add to the rush hour traffic in the morning or afternoon. and they're not going to have children necessarily going to the high school. So a lot of ways, there are some really ideal characteristics for this particular type of resident in our town. So I think it's a very good thing, and having it that close to the high school is beneficial, as opposed to a similar community that is full of school-age children. So we definitely will benefit from that as well.
That's right. And I think one of the priorities that I've seen from the board over the last few years is, effort to keep the roads congestion down as much as possible. And, I think having a diverse type of housing, have some housing for 55 and over, which doesn't add as much to commuter traffic, is a big plus. For the town.
Definitely agree, and that's one of the reasons why I'm excited about this project and looking forward to watching it get approved and moving into full development and build out.
Yeah, talk a little bit about future needs. We're in the process of committing to I see you got the senior citizen affordable housing proposal up. We'll talk about that in a minute if it's okay, Michael. But first, I want to kind of mention the needs of the town from a town perspective. From our perspective, me as a mayor and you as a commissioner, we don't have a senior citizen center or a senior citizen place for them to go. And I think, we're building a new police station, we're building a new fire station, we're building a new town hall. I think our community center, which we are proposing to build in the next phase, could be a combination community center and senior center. But we need one as we grow, and we have, you said 20% of the population of the town right now is senior citizens. We do need a senior citizen center at some point in time.
Absolutely agree. And I'm in the early stages of putting together a committee, a senior advisory committee. And that is one of our top priorities, is to focus on a full-blown game plan for getting a senior center built here in Rolesville. That was one of the things I ran on as well. And I'm going to do what I can. My hat's off to Commissioner Alston. His focus has been with the veterans. We approved earlier this week to be able to build a veteran center right on West Young Street. So I'm going to do my best to follow his footsteps for our seniors to build a senior center here in Rolesville. So absolutely.
Great. And in the meantime, a lot of our seniors go to the one in Wake Forest. I think it's maybe 5-6 miles away. But I think over time, all those centers change in way they're managed, way they're funded, and all that kind of stuff. And one of the issues that some people have been fearing is the change of the Wake Forest one and how that's going to be managed. And I think between me and you, we kind of assure our citizens that we're going to work as hard as we can for them not to lose that benefit.
Well, that's right. And we won't get into details, but the current management is changing, it's transitioning over to be run by the town of Wake Forest over the next year or so. And we just have to coordinate with them to allow our residents access to it, as well as get as quickly as we can a senior center of our own.
Right.
So that's, if we have that, then we're able to take care of our own very well.
Yeah. One of the other issues I think, we saw a little preview of it is, affordable housing can be a senior citizen problem. We had the problem with the Grand, the rent going up there. They couldn't afford it. Their income doesn't go up. If it's a fixed income, it goes up very little per year. And when inflation hits, cost of living hits, rental pricing, all that, it creates just a problem for them. And we lost a lot of citizens over there that was citizens in Rolesville, now has moved away. Some of them moved to other states. So, that's a real issue in town. I think a little bit about senior affordable housing.
Well, you're absolutely right. And you and I both have been very involved in the issues over at the Grand over the past year, really. And unfortunately, we weren't as successful as we might otherwise hope to have been to keep our residents there. And a number of them have left. And the sad part is, if they can't stay there, they can't just move across the street or down the road because there's no other housing available to them. So most of them, like you said, are moving certainly out of county, if not farther out of state. So this is somewhat my brainchild. I've been working with the developer, and we came up with this idea. And the whole concept is it's a series of duplexes. Each one's a 2-bedroom duplex. None of this is set in stone, but this is the initial concept. But the big thing here is that the residents will be able to live there, and their monthly charge, if you will, would be essentially fixed for the life of the resident. Minor changes of property tax and property insurance fluctuations, but other than that, it'll be a fixed rate for them to live there. And that's perfect and also unheard of. It's perfect for our senior citizens who are on a fixed income, that they won't have to worry about having to be displaced like we've seen at the Grande, because a number of those people who moved out lived there since the day it was opened. And it was their life. This is their neighborhood, is everything to them. And now they've had to move out. So the whole idea behind this one is it would be a public-private partnership with the town and the developer. And one of the conditions would be that the monthly rates that they would pay would be essentially fixed for the life of the resident. And I don't think that exists anywhere else. So I think it's pretty novel, but it's pretty cool.
It is a novel idea, and we'll hope things can kind of work out on that for sure. As you know, 20 minutes go by really quick, and I wanted maybe before we kind of end talking about senior citizens, Michael, I want to give you a round here where you just tell us some other thoughts real quick that you have put together for senior citizens. I know one of your thoughts was, for them to share housing in town, instead of, renting to one family, rent to 2 or 3, to share costs and housing. So what is real rapid fire? What is some of your other ideas with senior citizens?
Well, that's certainly one of them. As I mentioned, I'm putting together a committee of some esteemed seniors in our town to help brainstorm and figure out game plans for making things happen. Like I said, loneliness is a big issue. We're trying to combat that today. Thankfully, with Parks and Rec's help, they're joining forces in providing and hosting events. The Senior Network is hosting events. Sing is another organization that is providing some events. So, and part of what I'm trying to do is coordinate the various groups that work in our senior citizen community to help them and better coordinate our efforts. Because like you said earlier, Philip, in here also, we're not in competition. We're all trying to work towards a similar goal. So why not work together to try and make this a better community for our seniors as well as for everyone else? Because like I said, they are oftentimes last on the totem pole when it comes to the services that benefit them. So the Senior Center will be huge in that, because it would be also a place for education and information. Veteran Center is going to be working with veterans and seniors, so that'll be coordinating with them to ensure that all of our seniors, military and non-military, get the services and the amenities that they really deserve and need. So those are the types of things we're looking at. I'm excited about our Main Street beautification project that will make our town more walkable, and that's important for our seniors. As you know, the proposed senior affordable housing project is right behind Town Hall, so that would be an ideal location for a senior community to reside, to be able to walk to Walbrook, to be able to walk to Cobblestone, walk to Food Lion, and everything else that we build as we continue this development of our Main Street corridor. So.
Well, Michael, you're really doing a great job. You come in and hit the road running. Senior citizens, I really think our population is really going to benefit for some of the groundwork that we're putting in place today, and you're working hard on. So really appreciate what you're doing there. Great job, great work. And Philip, instead of us usually, we take the guests and come back. Let's just leave Michael on, and we'll wrap up because we're really kind of running out of time. We thought we was gonna have plenty of time with the guests being canceled out, but we don't, so we're kind of running out. So it's a few things I wanted to mention before we wrap up that's coming up. So, Philip, was there any comments you had for Michael before I do that?
No, I'm just saying, hey, Michael, I'm on Kathy Vegas's Sing board, Senior Information Network Group, and Ann's Friends board. So if you've got something for me to do, put me to work, man.
Appreciate it very much, Philip.
I am a senior now.
That's right. That's right.
God willing, we'll get there someday, right?
We got a lot of new things going on, in town the next 30 days I want to mention real quick. And the first one is this coming up weekend. May 11th is the 5K Dash. Terry Simmons hosts that with her organization that she does with her mom. I think it's called Thorn to Roses. It's a very good nonprofit organization that really provide money for helping kids that has issues, with I think a lot of problems that you have going up, and they do a very good job. And the 5K is always well attended and well done. So if you haven't signed up, I think you can sign up at the very last day. So be sure you be out there Saturday morning for that. I will be there. It's a lot of fun things to do out there. So be sure you come May 11th to that. The DAV, Disabled American Veterans Association, they have an event May the 14th, and it's in Knightdale. So if you're a veteran listening, make sure you get in tune with that. They want just an event to honor the veterans, the disabled veterans, and like I said, that's in Knightdale. I will attend that too. That's happening after the 5K, so be sure to attend that. June the 1st, we got Music in the Park. If you haven't attended to one of our Music in the Park things, that's a very, very good thing. It's at Millbrook Nature Park. Be sure you you do that. I can't go too far without mentioning the car show. May 18th is the Optimist Club is doing a car show. That's a fun event. I mean, you can spend a couple of hours just walking around looking at the cars. Last year they had the best car in the show was actually handmade. Now you think of a handmade car. If I handmade a car, I don't think it would be in a show. But this was a show car that every piece was handmade, and it was the best car in the show. I mean, it was a great show car. So you see amazing things out there. So that's May 18th.
I'll be there with my dad, my father-in-law's 51 boxcar. I think it's like a 51 Ford. They call it a boxcar.
Yeah.
Shoebox. They call it a shoebox.
So if anybody listening that want to enter the car, I don't know if you got time to do it or not. I don't know the deadline on it. Being the 18th is coming up, but I'd love to see your car out there. And typically they give me a trophy to give out, a mayor's trophy. And I don't do points and all, so I just do the car that I like the best. So even if you not have a really great car, you may get the mayor's trophy because I don't judge on points and stuff. So if you got a good car, make sure you enter that. So quite a few things going on. I just want to mention there. If you can participate in some of them, would be great. Anything else, Philip? I think it's been a great show. With I'm really hope Carla's mom is doing great. Like you said, families first. We missed having her on here. Really, her organization, which is she's kind of described as aging in place. She try to help people age, helping them do that. It's really a great organization.
I'm going to give a commercial on that myself. So I've got a 91-year-old mother, and I met Carla about 4 years ago, and I found out, and I realized, my aging mother, she's very independent right now, lives in a great place in North Raleigh, senior living community. But what happens when she's not independent? I am not equipped to deal with that. I don't know anything about taking care of an invalid senior citizen. This is what Carla does. She helps seniors stay in place when they've gone through a life event, a medical event. She knows all of the vendors, all of the partners, that she can provide a script of care. Script I mean is in a plan to help support that person and keep them in their home, keep them. It's wonderful to have. One thing I learned being a business owner, there's things I'm good at and things I'm not good at. What you're not good at, delegate. I'm not good at senior care. I don't know anything about it. I'm barely learning how to be a senior myself. This is what Carla and her team do. They provide that expertise. They are the people you delegate care to keep your family members safe, secure, and living a full life.
Yeah, and one of the things I see in people, whether it's Michael Paul or Carl or whatever, some of these people, they do it because they have a lot of passion for it. And when they have a lot of passion for it, they work really hard and it works out really good. And in talking to Carla, she has a personal story she tells that gives a lot of passion to it. And really it's a great thing. So we'll get her back on here. Kind of missed that she wasn't on here tonight, but I think we salvaged the best we could, Philip. I think it's pretty beneficial. Appreciate your you did a good job by asking me questions that you wasn't prepared for. So so thank you for that. And Michael, really appreciate having you on the show.
Definitely.
And
happy to be here.
And I know everybody's very interested in a lot of the things that you have been thinking about and as they progress over the next few years. So thanks so much for your work. And with that, I would say thanks everybody, and we'll
have a great evening.
We'll see you around town. Thanks.
Thank you.